What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the shelf. And it's been a little while, so it's time to talk about physical media collecting again. A couple things right off the top. This is mostly unscripted. I have a few things that I have, been wanting to talk about. And it almost seems like every day as things are being announced, it's giving me more and more to talk about. So I've kind of held off on making this video because there's just been more and more things coming out that have made me want to hold off. So I've decided enough is enough and it's time to get into it. The other thing is that for the most part, everything I'm going to talk about in this video is the way that I view collecting. This is strictly from my perspective. At times, I will start to address things from more of a blanket statement and make some judgments. I tend to not like to be too critical of collectors themselves. But at the end of the day, I really do think that people are collecting things for the wrong reasons. And I'm starting to see more and more videos just like this one all the time. People are coming around to my way of thinking. And I'm not trying to say that I'm sort of the ones who started this way of thinking. I think it's important to talk about physical media collecting in this way, as opposed to the very consumerist, look at all this cool shit that you can buy sort of mentality. And, again, if you run a channel that's like that or, similar to that, I'm not here to judge you. That's cool, man. There are people who love that shit. For me, I'm someone who is more focused on trimming the collection down, getting things out of it, and being very selective going forward about the things that I do buy. So that's where I'm at. If that's where you're at too, great. Let's have a conversation down in the comments and we can talk about some of this stuff. So I don't actually know what this video is going to be called. It'll probably be something along the lines of stop collecting for the wrong reasons, or physical media companies are running out of titles to release, because that's one of the big things that I want to get into here. So I don't know, maybe a week or two ago at this point, Imprint announced this Halloween 1 through 5, I think it's a steelbook set. It's got a pumpkin thing that's housing it. I'll try to show a picture of it right here. That kind of stuff is just so gimmicky to me. And so let's start with Halloween itself as a franchise. Halloween is probably the most released franchise on physical media ever. Just across the board, across all of time, the amount of different releases we have are ridiculous. And frankly, a lot of them are very gimmicky. There's nothing outside of aesthetics that would ever warrant someone to buy them. But that's the thing, right? It's Halloween has also some of the most diehard fans out there. So those are the people who are going to feel compelled to buy shit like this. Again, if it's within your means and you genuinely think it's cool, sweet, man, go for it. I look at stuff like that and it's very cynical. I mean, first of all, this thing only has Halloweens 1 through 5, and I'm pretty sure they want $400 for it. So what are we even talking? That's not even half the franchise, and you want $400, right? The problem is they're running out of ways to re-release Halloween. So you're just getting more and more of these gimmicky sort of sets, right? Honestly, if you have the Halloween Scream Factory box set, you're probably good. Or if you have the 4Ks that they released a couple years ago, honestly, those are the definitive releases as far as I'm concerned. You don't really need much more. For me though, let's see. This is all, I'm good. I don't even like these movies that much. So I don't even really need this, let alone, the 4Ks or the Scream Factory set, whatever. I'm content with this. And that's the difference between collectors like me and collectors who need to have the top premium version, even if it's a movie that they don't even like. That's the crazy part. If you like these movies, awesome. A lot of people don't like Curse of Michael Myers. They don't like Resurrection, but you're going to pay $30 to own it on 4K just because it's in a franchise that you like. I don't understand that. There's this idea that just because it's a franchise that you like and you have the first couple, you have to have them all. I used to be part of that too. I had all the Terminator movies, even though I only like the first two. I've since gotten rid of the other ones. There's this whole like franchise mentality is dumb. It makes no sense. You don't even watch them. You just like the look of them all next to each other on the shelf. It's stupid. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. So the Halloween thing, that's stupid. That said is dumb as hell. I cannot get behind that. It's just very cynical. It's greedy. It's targeting diehard collectors. And I don't feel bad for people or anything like that. Like, I don't think that they're like preying on people, because if you're, you know, willing to fork over the money for that, then like, do you, I guess. But like, you know, it's just a weird dichotomy we're in now where like all of the best, most exciting movies have already been released on 4K, on Blu-ray, on Steelbook, whatever. It's already out. All of it is already out. Like, that's the thing. These labels are running out of movies to release. Back to the Future has another Steelbook set coming out. And it's got like all this like, all these little stuff that comes with it. There's like, I don't even know. I'll show it on the screen here, but it's like all this extra shit that you really don't need. It's just, I don't understand it, but it's Back to the Future and people love Back to the Future. It's got a huge following. It's one of the most popular movies of all time. So like, again, this is the 45th time they've released it on 4K, I think. And, you know, it's just like, what is there left to be excited about is kind of where I'm coming from. Like, all the best Halloween releases are already out. All of the best Back to the Future releases are already out. Take any of your most favorite movies of all time. All the best versions of them are already out, with the exception of some stuff that we'll talk about later, because that's the stuff that I do think is worth getting excited about. Not this Back to the Future shit, not this Halloween thing. Arrow Video recently had some announcements come out, and they announced that we're getting Red Planet on 4K. Yeah. Who was asking for Red Planet on 4K? Like, this is what I'm talking about. These labels are running out of movies to put out. They are scraping the bottom of the well, and once that's all gone, they're going to remove the bottom of the well and they're going to start digging deeper than that. And essentially what you're going to have happen here in the next couple of years is all of the main labels are going to start to resemble like a Vinegar Syndrome, where Vinegar Syndrome, that's their bread and butter, is releasing the lesser known, the more very niche, the outright bad movies. That's what all these other labels are starting to do, because they have nothing else to put out. And there are way too many labels putting out movies relative to the amount of movies that people are actually excited about. So it's not enough to go around, and there's way too many companies all fighting over the same shit. So what you wind up getting is Arrow Video putting out Red Planet, because I guess one fucking person on their message boards asked for Red Planet, so now we're getting it. Shout Select announced Snowden on 4K. I don't know who asked for Snowden on 4K, but we're getting it. So, it's just weird to me. Like, none of these aren't movies that are going to benefit from a 4K treatment. So there's really no reason. You cannot convince me that there's any reason to own the 4K of Snowden over whatever Blu-ray there is out there. You just can't convince me. And like, again, I'm sounding very, you know, authoritative here. Again, this is just stemming from my own perspective, right? If this is shit that you're excited about, I'm really not trying to poo-poo the things that you're excited about. If you're like the world's #1 Snowden fan on 4K, then like, I'm happy. No one is happier for you than me, because that's what it's about, is getting the movies that you actually love on 4K. And even furthermore, movies that have not been accessible. There's very few of those left, but there are a few of them out there still, and we'll get into that here in a second. So for example, the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K set is coming out later this month, and that is something that people have been very excited for a very long time, and for good reason. Nightmare on Elm Street is one of like the last bastions of mainstream horror that has yet to come to 4K. We got the first one like last year, and that was all great. And now we're getting the second, or all of them, excuse me. And furthermore, we're getting like interviews and special features and an uncut version of 5. And like, that's the really cool shit that's like goes beyond just restorations, like things that, you know, may or may not be all of that, you know, impressive. But all of the extra shit that people really enjoy, we seem to be getting that as well. And you know, it's really exciting when you get uncut versions that have never been seen before. But that stuff is exceedingly rare. Like, that doesn't happen all the time. So Nightmare is great. Very excited about that. We're also getting Dogma. I don't remember who's putting that out. It's either Arrow or like Lionsgate Limited or something like that. But regardless, we're finally getting Dogma. So like, that's another really big deal for a lot of people. You know, that one's been long out of print for a long time, and people are excited about it. It's a cult movie, and that's one that I'll probably get too, because I'm a big Kevin Smith guy. The point is that once all of that stuff is gone and out already, you know, the Brain Deads, Dead Alive, Dogma, we already have Dawn of the Dead from Second Sight. Like, these things are, eventually we're going to run out of these things, and we'll get them. And then once that happens, there's nothing left. Everything is out already. And there's just not going to be that much more to get excited about. And that's how you wind up with Red Planet on 4K and Snowden and all that shit. So this is all just to say that it's okay to just let physical media collecting pass you by. Sell movies in your collection that you don't watch anymore. Don't buy all the new shit just because it's a label you used to really be into. If the titles aren't reflecting the same level of excitement that they used to get out of you, you don't have to continue buying them. If it's not serving you anymore, just let it pass you by. Personally, for me, I have really enjoyed, instead of having those movies sit on my shelf, I've really enjoyed looking at the numbers in my bank account and how much money I've saved from not having that. Like, I could have either $400 worth of movies on my shelf or $400 in my bank account. I'm taking the $400 in my bank account personally. That, for me, at this point in my life, is way more exciting. So that's just where we're at, man. I mean, and I'm starting to see this with a lot of people too, because frankly, the level at which that most people in the physical media community collect, it's just not sustainable. It's really not. And you might think that it is, and then eventually a point's going to come in your life where you realize that it's not, and that it's actually not serving you and fulfilling you as much as it used to. And you're going to either going to just stubbornly push ahead, or you're going to be forced to reevaluate and change up your situation. And, I think it's important to just get out ahead of it and acknowledge that things change and your hobbies change over time, and that you don't have to buy Red Planet on 4K. You really don't. And I'm not talking like anyone is forcing you to. That's not what I'm saying. I know I'm sounding a little dramatic for the sake of the video, but you get what I'm saying. Like, people have these blind obedience and this loyalty to these labels. And, the spines, like, people worship at the altar of the spine and the cool numbered serialized spine. And it's like, it's not worth it, man. Enjoy the movies that you love. Put them on your shelf. They're not going anywhere. And when they re-release it with a new artwork and Dolby Vision 2 or whatever the fuck they're doing nowadays, just look the other way. Look the other way. Picture all that money just going right into your bank account instead. I promise you, you will be way more satisfied. So anyway, guys, that's this physical media ramble, this rant. I'm done. I got nothing else to add. Hopefully I didn't ruffle any feathers out there. If you people agree with me out there, let me know down in the comments. I really enjoy hearing from you guys whenever I do videos like this. I don't really enjoy doing videos like this. I guess I do. It's healthy to get all this stuff out because I mostly internalize a lot of these thoughts. But I still collect physical media. It's just very rare nowadays that I actually find something out there that I am excited about. And I really think that's just the natural progression. That's the way it should be. Because I bought all my favorite movies in the first couple years of collecting. And then once that's out of the way, you're down to the new releases, like contemporary movies that are coming out in theaters. Like the ones that I really, really love, those are the ones that I get excited about owning. Because a lot, like the catalog stuff, it's mostly dried up for me. There's really not a ton left. So again, this is all just my opinion. It's where I'm coming from. Hopefully you guys agree with me. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Remember to take care and watch more movies.